My wife's warning sight video allowed her to heal by being able to express the overwhelming amount of emotion that was going on because of these people who are threatening our lives. We give thanks and praise, and we thank you, Bill Winston Ministries, for praying for us during this time period. We thank you, Sister Gloria, for praying for us during this time period. We really required this, and it helped us to get through this difficult period, and has also given us the strength in the Most High to move on. And that's what we need sometimes. You know, you need someone else, or your community is there to lift you up, to help you. And they were there at this time. Going back to our story, when we were previously here in Toronto, and our children had brought some knowledge to us, and we did our own research, we started putting out flyers here in Toronto. And these flyers were talking about the name of the Most High. It was also talking about the history of the Israelite people and who they are. We put out posters and different things. At that time in Toronto, a lot of people were not really interested in what was going on with this in their life. And as I said, then we left to go on our own business, to see and to learn more about the Most High based on the knowledge that we were given. And then we've been attacked when we've come back into this land by this satanic group. And I'm calling them satanic because they're coming after us. They're hiding like a bunch of cowards, not showing who they are. And they're constantly trying to find out what we know or what we're trying to do. Now, this is an attack on our people. This may be a testing that they are putting on and starting with us. They want to test and see if this is going to work. They have tried so many different things that we're seeing how they will try to round up our people in the end. And that's why we felt we must continue to speak out. But we are not speaking out in fear. We're speaking out in the power of the Most High. We're speaking out in faith right now. And we've gotten this purpose through the Word. And that's what this intro video is. So first of all, I want to give praise and thanks to the Most High, who has created us, the maker of heaven and earth. And we know that no one can come against us if the Most High is for us. And we declare that this satanic entity will fall, that they have no power here. But what we want to now talk to you about is what we have learned in our travels. And one of the things that we have learned is the lack of love and the lack of unity. And these two things are hampering our community and will be the downfall of us. Yes, we know what the Bible is saying, but we can do a little bit better in the sense that we don't all have to be taken because we're all not trying to unify. We're not all trying to walk in love. We need to turn around things. And we as a people, we have to see this, we have to know this, and we have to work on it. Some of the scriptures that are going to help us today are Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So we know that we have a purpose on this world. We have a purpose on this earth, and that's what we're here for. And that's, as I said, this is what led us to coming out to you now to speak to you. My profession as a teacher, instead of me teaching and helping the system teach you how to do math, but not help you to be morally stronger, that's not going to help me when I have to go to the Most High. It's better that I use that skill to help you understand where we are in the Word of the Most High and what we have to do as a people and what we are lacking. And I'm saying we because I am not singling out myself. I am part of this as well. And together, we working together, we will make the change and we will destroy that enemy. Remember that when Moses was raising that staff against the different armies, that at times he would get tired and they would have to lift up his arm. We are a community and we will overcome with the community. And when they lifted up Moses' arm and he lifted that staff up, they defeated the enemy. That's what we will do. We stand strong together. But how do we stand? It's not everybody's going to stand, because there are many people here that will sell you out. We must stand in love. Love is stronger than the use of money. When we were being attacked, we know that these corporations were paying people, must be paying people off or giving them something. But if we are together and unified in love, it doesn't matter what you're going to give me. It doesn't matter if you give me a promotion. I don't need that, because this is my brother and this is my sister. And there's no way that I'm going to give you any information on them, because we are one in love. And in fact, you trying to attack them now is my enemy. So you better watch it. We need to stand strong against the enemy. As I said, this is not just for you. This is for me too. This is for all of us, because they will pick us off if we do not do this. So as I've read Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, it tells us that our duty, that we have a duty, and that duty is for each other. It says to fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Let's go a little bit further. Let's go to Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 8 and 21, just to get more insight on this. In the New Testament, in 2 Corinthians 8, verse 28 and verse 21, it says, providing for honest things, not only in the sight of the Most High, but also in the sight of men. So when we're doing what we have to do, we practice this righteousness, we have to do it in front of the Most High as well for others. Our love is about ourselves and loving the Most High. And why do we know this? This is confirmed in Matthew 22 and 37. Matthew 22 and 37 in the King James says, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? And Yashaya, your Bible probably says Jesus. We use the word Yashaya, and a lot of the things that I may be saying today, I will go over in other videos. But just to let you know, we're using the name Yashaya. There was no J's at the time, and that's another video that we'll talk about. But right now, Yashaya said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. So here, this is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law of the prophets. Hang all the law and the prophets. So this is relating to our duty that we are supposed to follow the commandments. And so Yeshaya is telling us that these commandments are based on love. And love is based on loving the Most High and loving us. Because love is an encompassing thing for the people of the Most High. That's why the people are important in it. Luke 10, verse 23 says, and answering, so this is going to be a confirmation of what we just read. In Luke 10:23 it says, and he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right, this do, thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said to Yashaya, and who is my neighbor? So here's a question that Yashaya that they brought up with Yashaya, and someone is trying to twist the whole situation and say, well, who's my neighbor? Who is it that I have to really love? Okay? Yashaya says unto him, and Yashaya answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed on the other side. So the priest sees him. And then the priest, oh, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to go over on the other side. How many times have you heard that your brother and sister are in pain, or you see that they're in pain, and then you take off and go the other way? We don't want to have nothing to do with it. And I said we, okay? We do this. And likewise, a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked at him and passed by on the other side. But and so now the Levite does the same thing. Now these are special, one is a special priest, and one is a special people that deal with praying. So these are holy people, and they're trying to act as though that they're righteous all the time. But neither one of them have chosen to help this person. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him, and he bound up his wounds. Okay? So the Samaritan comes, who's traveling from someplace else, and he looks after this person. He pours oil on this person. He's pouring oil on him, and he's giving him wine. He set him on his own beast, which means he provided the transportation for him, and he brought him to an inn, and he took care of him. Okay? And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and he gave it to the host, and said unto him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Do you see what the Samaritan has done for this person? The Samaritan has looked over this ailing person and what they're going through. The Samaritan took his vehicle, his form of transportation, his beast. He put that person on there to try to take him someplace where he would be safe. The Samaritan paid for him when that person could not pay for himself. Okay? Now this is talking about the neighbor. So this is what we have to do. So Yashaya is now telling them, this is what you need to do. This is what we have to do with each other. So in our walk of life, are we doing this? And that's what the question is here. And if we're not doing this, we're not acting as our brothers and sisters. If we're not doing this, if our churches are not doing this, they are not acting as our brothers and sisters. Our churches need to do this. And that's when you'll know that they're Yashaya's people. We're not an island on our own, okay? 1 John 4:21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth the Most High, that he who loveth God, love his brother also. Okay, so those people who are professing to love the Most High, if they're not showing love for their brother and sister, no, it's not there. Okay? It's not there. We've been in this situation with people who are professing that they know the Most High, and they have then showed that they had no love with them. And this is one of the problems that we have. And this is what is holding us back.